Alrighty, welcome back. What I'm about to start here is what I call a new segment called the Stub Bucket Special. And if for some reason you don't know what that is, Stub Bucket more or less. Yep. That aside, it's not a rod tug episode, but it is welding rods that are strange, unique. Mostly it would be classified the ones that are not labeled. Did a video on this rod yesterday. Way too long-winded. And now that I have my bearings on, I'm going to do a rundown in a much more organized fashion. So, let me pull these out. What we have here are these. Basically conjoined uncut welding rods. As you can see, right there, normally at the factory they'd be cut, but they're not, obviously. Flux color is a light gray. Filler metal is like a dull silver color. I believe these are like nickel alloy electrodes for cast iron. Main reason being that where I got them was an old welder I interviewed. You could watch a video on my channel if you'd like to. I got a bunch of neat rods off them to try out, and probably 50-ish% of those rods there were cast iron. He had lots and lots of cast iron repair rods. And since these have not rusted or had any surface rust despite the damp conditions in the garage, and they're not stainless. I did do some welding with them the other day. My bet is on that they are nickel alloy rods. Now, what's interesting about these is that they are two diameters. Well, they were 3/32 and 5/64. 5/64 right there. See that? And there are the 3/32. I did use probably half a dozen of these already. I was told, if I recall, that you used to be able to buy them like this. But I can no longer find them for sale anywhere. So I would say this is the thing of the past. So starting off, they are, when cut, smaller diameter, not smaller diameter, good grief, shorter, I can't think, shorter than your standard, even 3/32 welding rod. They come in at, let's see, come on, work out, about 9 1/4 inches for the cut ones. Uncut welding rods come in at about, I'm going to guess 19, obviously, because that would be 1/4. What am I thinking? Okay, 1'6", 12. Yeah, it was roughly 18 inches. I guess it depends where you cut the rod at. So with my experimentation, I have found out they run best, believe it or not, for a 3/32 rod at 115 amps on DCEN, direct current electrode negative. They do get really hot. The whole rod, flux and everything glows red, which is interesting. Although I guess expected or something like that. Normally I would only encounter that with stainless rods. You obviously can do with any rod if you try it hard enough. But that was at the temperature at which I got the best weld performance. I tried many other amperages, and they just did not want to keep an arc once it touched the metal. Now, these are old. A lot of the welding rods there a lot of them came from an old welding shop, 1940s-ish, 50s-ish rods. And having no identification colors or anything whatsoever, I can only go by the exterior looks. So without further ado, if I can get this run here. Now, if I should have cleaned this. God, see that whole thing is glowing red hot already. I don't have a lot of these to go around. Oh man. I'll speed up the process, clean this up. It ran better in clean metal yesterday. I can showcase some of the weld I did yesterday. That turned to would have been like a 36-minute video because I was stumbling around and finding out stuff as I went. Having now experienced that for myself, I can shorten that process. Well, there's that. Good enough. Right. Grab the next rod. That one was stuck. Disappointed there. Nevertheless, we can get this one to work. There we go. And as it gets to a certain point, it gets so hot that the whole thing just starts disintegrating. Once it got to about that point, it just, you know, given the rod was pretty short by that time. Hold up on the grinder. Stop being stupid. Wait. That's still high and lumpy. That's what you would be consider a cold weld. Now, up here on top, I can show you what I did yesterday. That there is a 7018. You can ignore that, but all this, it's getting hot down there, is from those rods. And the best weld right there, that was about roughly 115 amps. I believe it was DCEN. But you can see the weld bead after all this. I was able to get a uniform one. The rest of these, I had to put some long arcing into it because of this brief contact with the metal. If it had any surface rust, it didn't go very well. I'm going to switch it up to DCEP here, which I do simply by switching around leads in front of the welder. Well, this is obviously a very hot temperature to run these at. I'm going to think and suspect that they probably ran better when originally purchased. Take another one of these. I only have so many. Got probably 9 left. I could get more if I needed to. This is something you definitely do not see every day. Boy. Cut that. Haven't happened misplacing my stinger despite the fact it's attached to a lead. Alright. Come on. Let's not make this longer than it needs to be. Or you can. Goodness, not one I can contact now. That's great. It's not really, but you know. It's, again, on the DCEP's got a rougher start. I'm dropping red hot, screaming hot electrode stubs into a plastic bucket. That's not a good thing to do. I'll clean that up and then switch back to DCEN, which in my experience, you know what? That doesn't look half bad. It's a little lumpy. Again. Does have some coloration to it. I still don't think it's a stainless rod. I'm not going to try to do the 9 yards of vertical overhead and all that stuff because it already has enough troubles running in the flat position as it is. I could set up the amperage higher, but for the size of the rod, again, 42nd time saying this, I don't think I should. So yeah, there's not much to say here. I think that's more what I'm looking for. There we go. See, that's what I was getting yesterday. About 115 amps right there. Now it is a large, rather large bead, but had to turn up that hot just to get it to properly melt out on the edges. There's a little bit of narrowing towards the end. The one on the top, the DCEP, one on the lower, DCEN. DCEN, again, runs it the best. And all the ones on the back were a mix of DCN, DCEP, but as you can see, lower amperage, we're talking like upper 80s, 90s, even 100 amps. Do not have enough heat output to properly melt that, get a good weld on it. So I'd say, unfortunately, that wraps it up. I wish I had more to you know, give here, but at the end of the day, or if I'm being literal, it is the end of the day right now. That's pretty much all I got. I can turn on a flash with this, right? Yeah, flashlight. Get a good look at those, and that was a good weld. Ones on the side, I'd say those are good enough welds. The one on the top is better than the one below it. I feel like I would have some difficulty properly using these out of position. As I said. Well, I hope you found that interesting. Sorry I couldn't provide more information on these. If you found this of interest to you, I don't know, like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. There's more coming, that's for sure. I have lots and lots of ideas, lots of content I could make. I'm going to try to finish redoing all these thumbnails, get tags on videos, all that fun stuff. I don't think I'll be making a career out of it, but that's okay. This is where I share what I like to do. So I just say Wolf Welder 69 out.